Hi everyone, my name is Matias BM. We are in Strategic Brand Management and we are going to talk about All Black. This is a brief introduction about what we are going to talk about. Well, I think that you all are wondering why we are showing the haka and why we are showing about something related just to rugby. This is due to the importance that the All Blacks has for the country, for New Zealand and for the rugby all over the world. I'm going to introduce you to first the summary and then I will explain why we saw that video. For the introduction is we are going to talk about why All Blacks is All Black, which is the brand and the product association about All Blacks and rugby and what they are selling, which is the meaning of the All Blacks, which is the brand equity of All Black, the challenges of opportunity, the sources of brand equity, and the building blocks. So, the All Blacks start as a national rugby league, not as All Black, around the 1800s, latest 1800s. And they become the All Blacks in 1905 when they went to play a match in England, and they come back with the nickname of the All Black. For the beginning of since 1905 until 1986, they were wearing their suits as black with a silver fern, as we can see the silver fern, which is a plant that is mainly important here, and it grows in 2 cities in the North Island. They adopt this symbol. And in 1986, the national rugby team realized that the brand was too powerful just to leave it as up in the air. So they decided to utilize it and create a trademark with the All Black. While doing this, they start to develop their brand in several sports. They are now as the All Whites in soccer, but they are sharing the silver fern. They are also in cricket. They are in the rugby team of female rugby team, several sports. While doing this, they have the chance to tackle several markets in every sport, and they also develop a strategy related to the silver fern all over the country and all over the world, selling gadgets that are related to the brand. They have kind of a sentence that says that better people make better All Black. So this gives an idea about how the brand develop their strategy all over the country. We need to think that New Zealand is a country around 5 million people, so the local market is small for a brand, it's not that big. So while doing this, they create the brand awareness of the locals, the culture, and while doing that, they spread the brand all over the world. Here we can see which are the values that they try to create in the population. What they used to do is they send the All Black players to the kindergarten or the schools around the country, and they provide some kind of support, and they hang out, and they try to put in their kids' minds the integrity, the courage, being humble, being pride and respect. Well, and the industry is a value that is related just to the brand. In terms of brand products and brand association, we need to think about which is the significance of the silver fern for the society in New Zealand. The silver fern is something that merged both society, Maori society and English society, or that are the 2 different cultures that have a kind of an issue many time ago. So due to this merge on the silver fern, they could give meaning to the national proud and being one. So that's why the silver fern is too important. And also the black color is like unify both cultures. And also the brand product and the brand association is mainly related to the performance of the national rugby team, the All Blacks. We need to think that in terms of how the national rugby team performs, All Black team, but female team is much more better than male team, but around the world the male team is more well known with a percentage of over 75% of victory, so it's really good in terms of performance in rugby. Well, if we speak about the meaning of All Blacks to the consumers are well aware about what is All Black. And in terms of how the rugby team performs, they create this kind of things that support their willingness to buy the brand, even if they don't know the brand. That is something that they check. They know the brand know that the company, that the country is not entirely aware about rugby. It's not that all the country loves rugby. So they know how to handle it and which part of the population want to buy something related to the brand, even though they don't like the sport. So the brand provides serenity. Why is that? As this is a well-known brand around the country and a well-positioned brand around the world, the consumers choose to buy it just due to the fact that the brand is a good things to have, and they know that the product that they are going to have is good, so they feel confident due to that. From the point of view of the customer, this create the brand, the good marketing branding that they have create a saving time. This means that when the customers are going to buy something related to the All Black, they just purchase it without thinking what are they buying. They just buy it due to the confidence that they have to the brand. In terms of building differentiation, they create several campaigns related to position the brand, mainly the haka. The haka is something that is pretty important, and they perform this since the beginning of their constitution as a national rugby team. So this is very important to them, and they utilize it as a marketing campaign and give to the marketing the differentiation that they want to show to the world, because we have different Islander rugby team or different national rugby team that are from the islands of the Pacific, and they also have their own haka, but the well-known haka belongs to the New Zealand one. This brand also provides security to the consumer due to the fact that they don't have to take risks. They know that if they buy something related to the All Blacks, the results are going to be good and the product is going to be also good. The performance of the All Black is something that impacts straight in the value of the brand. If the performance is good, it means that the All Blacks are going to have a really good amount of products to sell. If the performance is not good, it means that they are going to lose sales. That is something that they need to pay attention, because the performance of the brand is totally linked to the performance of the team. And they also develop the national rugby cloth in terms of the nationality. So they are mainly focused on which is the pride that they feel when the locals feel, the Kiwi people, when they buy something related to the All Black. They feel that the brand represents what they are. So this is something that is mainly important to them. Well, this is something that allows to the brand to have a brand ambassador. That is one thing that most of the company want to reach. That is that the brand is going to be spread even though the people are not going to buy the clothes, but they just spread the voice about how good is the brand, even if they are not going to buy or they never use it. In terms of the meaning of All Blacks to producers or manufacturers, we can speak about the marketplace acknowledgement. This is something that happens when companies want to purchase the production of some brand due to the brand awareness that this brand has in the market. So that means that if they buy something from a company, they are sure that the company can sell it because it's easy to recognize the brand. Then is the demand motivation. This happens when the customer have something that is called pull marketing. Is when the customers start to ask for a brand. So in terms of the manufacturing company or the retailers, they want to have the All Blacks in inventory because this allows them to have bigger amount of sales, mainly here in New Zealand. About the trade negotiation power, from the point of view of the brand, as they have an outstanding brand awareness, they could develop their brand or their indumentary and try to increase the amount of money that they want to charge. And they know that the people around the country or the people who comes to the country, they are going to buy. They are not focused on the price. They just want to have something related to the All Black. And this is something that gives the brand also flexibility because they can sell their products in their own stores as All Black stores, or they can merge between different kind of companies that we can see here in New Zealand or around the world. Well, in terms of brand equity, as I speak before, this is a brand that, due to the silver fern and the meaning that the All Black has for the country, exists the idea of a brand. It's not a brand, it's a feeling. So people who comes here, they want to buy something related to the All Black. So this is what creates. They have their own weight, their own value, and they can take more risks tackling different markets. In terms of the management that could be applied for the brand, there are two types, proactive and reactive. The proactive is when they try to develop new kind of market, and the reactive is the one that reacts to the competitors, and they figure out which is working for the competitors, and they try to copy. In terms of the All Black, as it's a well-positioned brand, they use proactive marketing, they develop their own. This creates different kind of partnership, or allow All Blacks to have different kind of partnership, closing the best deal in the story of rugby with Adidas for over 10 years, and they are going to renew it in this year or next year, and also with APE. And this attract investors for over $1.5 billion, so this is results of the good management that they are having and the brand equity of the company. In terms of brand challenges, we have treating brand as asset, positioning conviction vision, generating new subcategories, integrated marketing, building All Black internally, maintaining brand relevance. I already speak a little bit about all of this before, but the main thing here is like the national rugby team realized that they could have a brand as an asset. So they know that the brand is something that has a huge impact and is well positioned in the market, so that's why they develop the strategies in terms of position the brand and use the national proud in terms of positioning the brand all over the world. In terms of brand opportunity, the recognition and loyalty, the image size is something that is pretty important. I didn't speak about that, but the image of size for the All Blacks, in terms of how small is the market of New Zealand, is something that they need to develop, and they did it. So they positioned the brand around the world. That allowed them to increase their income, and that was a really good strategy for the company. And in terms of the silver firm, I already mentioned this is the first clothes that they used in 1905. It was blue and brown, and then they changed to black. This is the silver firm. This is the moment in 1986 where they decided to adopt this shape and start to develop the mark during the rest of the coming years in terms of this logo. And then this is something that I'm going to talk about, but it's just a little bit because my colleague Gerardo is going to speak about how the All Blacks apply this to the brand. But this is the brand building blocks. This is how a company needs to work. So we have 4 levels that are from in a vertical way, and then we have split also 2 levels in our horizontal way. The first one is the salient image, is who the brand is, who they are. It's the moment where they realize this happened in 1985 for the All Blacks, is where they realized that they could develop a brand and they start to build their identity. Then they show to the world who they are. That is what they want to show to the people, that this is focused mainly on the performance and the imaginary of the team. Then it's about the judgment of the figure. That is something that they create in terms of what are they doing with the, as I mentioned about the kindergarten kids and youngest and youth mainly. And then the resonance, that is the thing that they could reach, that is something that not all the brand could do, but it's something that they want. That is when they reach the level of having brand ambassador and having good spread of their voice in terms of the brand and how good is the brand in the market, even though they are not going to buy. So this is my presentation. Any questions?
Any questions for Matias, guys?
No.
Thank you, Matias, for your time.
Thank you.
And I don't see the reference slides.
Okay.